Good evening and hello to everybody who's watching this program in the English language. Allow me to start by giving the link of this program through our Telegram page so that anybody who wants to watch it with us has the opportunity to do so now and later on in the future. Today, we are going to speak about some important matters. So the first one we want to talk about is the actual history of the Pahlavi kingdom, because a lot of people I've noticed in the English language come on YouTube and other places however, what they think is nothing because they don't have any knowledge about Iran, about the kingdom of Iran, about the current government system of Iran, about what the people of Iran want, and they think they know everything. Normally, we find this problem with a bunch of white people who think that they know everything when they don't know anything. Channels like The Enforcer, with the two Enforcer brothers who sit and talk like as if they know everything, and they keep asking each other stupid questions. What say you? And what say you? And what say you? And none of them know anything about anything. Or you see other channels that come along, and what they do is they go and they do a little search to get over here. Stop doing that. Or they look for what is going on, and they search a little piece of information somewhere, and they find out some lie that was put on the internet by some idiot who also doesn't know anything about anything. And this lie is being pushed and used by different governments for their own objectives. And they think that because some idiot politician said something, that must be right. They forget that these idiot politicians who they are learning from scam their own people. They forget that these idiot politicians really haven't done anything for their own people, even though they've been in power for over 40 years. But they take what those people say without actually even thinking about what those people have said, and they repeat it like they have verbal diarrhea. They misinform the viewers of their own channels. They put bad thoughts in the minds of the people who watch their channels. Or then you get some people who think they are experts. Some of them are even Iranians who've been out of the country for a long time, can barely speak Persian, and yet they think they are experts. I mean, they can't even say their own name correctly. The guy's name is Mahyar, and he calls himself Meyer. Because he's been out of the country for so long, he barely understands Persian to begin with. He doesn't know anything about what's going on inside. And people, they are not revolutionaries, and they are not like this, and they are not like that. And normally when they get shot at, they run away. No, Mahyar Tusi. The people of Iran are very much revolutionary. And no, they don't run away when they get shot at. The Islamic Republic of Iran brings out military weapons that you fight another military with. They shut down the internet every time, and then they start the genocide killing of the Iranians. You have a bunch of unarmed Iranians on one side protesting, and then you have revolutionary guards who come along on the other side, and they're using dushkas. I mean, they're using something that you use to hit a tank with. But they're hitting civilians with. If show up, but we see them showing up over and over. They showed up in the 80s during the Iran-Iraq war. They showed up in the 90s. They showed up in the 2000, 2010, 2020. Now again, we are 2025 and they're still coming. The Iranian people are very revolutionary. They keep coming. They had a government. Their government was overthrown. And now we come to the overthrown. Let's get some stuff correct. Stop twisting stuff. Enforcers, I'm talking to you. Your channel, the enforcers. What say you and what say you? Let me address you correctly here. And I hope that the people that see this are the same people that see your channel so that they can inform you. Because you keep spewing garbage after garbage, nothing about what you're talking about. And your channel is not the only one, but it's a very wide seen channel. So we're going to bring your name up over and over until you understand. The Pahlavi kings were not the kings of Persia. Okay? Just because a bunch of Europeans decided, and these Europeans are from France, England, and Russia. Just because these three countries decided 350 years ago that the country that is known as Aryana should be called Persia, and they got this because they saw that the Greeks were calling it Persia. Lala, come over here. Good girl. Because they saw that the Greeks called Aryana Persia, they decided that they're going to use the same name. They're going to start calling it Persia. The name of the country has never been Persia. Persia is one of the tribes of Iran. We also have the Medes. We also have the Lor. We also have the Kurds. We also have the Azars. We have a lot. It's not just one group of people in Iran. Just like the Jews have 12 tribes. You don't say the Judah tribe is its own country. You say the Judah are one of 12 tribes of Israel. They're all Israel. All these tribes are the people of Aryana. Aryana, the same name you Europeans stole from Iran and changed it around a little bit and called it the Aryan. The Aryan name you took from Iran. The Caucasian you took from Iran. The Caucasian comes from the Caucasus Mountains that are in Iran. Hello, hi, we are your forefathers. You like to call yourself the white people, but you steal the name from us who are the white people. And then you say, you guys are brown. You're not amongst us. You're not this and you're not that. But you steal it from us. Your swastika you stole from us. We had that swastika for 3,000 years before Hitler started using it. And you totally dismantled what it stood for. Because the swastika doesn't stand for what you have it as. But you stole it. You continuously steal everything that belongs to Iran, and then you twist it around and you try to make it like it's something you had. The last time we had somebody who was a king of this so-called Persia was in the Qajar dynasty. The Qajar kings, who were under the influence of the British and the French and the Russians, were the stupid idiots who were calling Iran Persia because you wanted it to be called Persia, like a Persian cat. The Pahlavis, when they came in 1925, King Reza Pahlavi became king, overthrew the Qajar dynasty, and kicked out all of his English advisors and Russian advisors and French advisors. He gave you all the boot and kicked you all out because he wanted Iran to be free. And he renamed Iran Iran from the awful name you gave it as Persia, which was an insult to Iran because Iran has many tribes and they all have a claim to that land. It's not the Persians and then the rest. Your idea was from the very beginning to split Iran into many parts. Newsflash, the people of Iran don't want that. The people of Iran want a unified Iran. And they want to be left alone so that they can make their own decisions. They don't want you in England and in France and in Russia to be their overlords. Those days are long gone. That brings us to World War II, when Iran, a peaceful country who was neutral, not taking part on either side, was invaded by the British and the Russians. That's right, invaded. You invaded us. You oust our king. You took out our king. And our king put his son, Muhammad Reza Pahlavi, as the second Pahlavi king. That happened in 1941. In 1951, the Kingdom of Iran implemented Muhammad Mossadegh as prime minister. You see, the Kingdom of Iran was not a kingdom where just the king does whatever he wants. No. The king was there, and then we had a parliament underneath the king, just like you do in England today. Keir Starmer is not above King Charles. Okay? King Charles is up here. Keir Starmer, your prime minister, is down here. The scepter of your king has more weight and power than your prime minister in England. If the king removes his scepter, government can't proclaim day-to-day matters. In your parliament, the scepter is sitting there representing your king. Your king doesn't even show up. His scepter is representing him. Without the scepter, your government doesn't function. It is stupid for anyone to think that a prime minister has more power, more authority than a king of a nation. Anyone who tells you that a prime minister is of a higher rank falls into one of the following categories. Either that person is stupid, or that person does not understand how positions of power in government work, or that person does not understand the English language, or that person is all of the above. That person is someone who looks like a human being, but when you examine inside their head, you'll find nothing but air. There is no brains. It's an airhead, as we used to call it. Only an airhead will tell you that a prime minister is above a king. In Europe, majority of your countries are a kingdom, and you seem to be fine with all of them. Sweden, Norway, Spain, England, Scotland, Wales, and the list keeps going and going and going and going and going. And none of you ever say, oh, those are bad. You never call them dictators. You never point a finger at any of them and say anything. Instead, you say, God bless the king. When you had your queen, you were saying, God bless the queen. Your queen didn't change every 4 years, did she? But your prime minister does. Your king doesn't change, does he? But your presidents and prime ministers do. But when it comes to Iran, all of a sudden, the king is a bad thing. The king is a dictator. Exactly what did the king do that was a dictator? We had a parliament and we had a king. The king was not a dictator. You know where this dictator of King Muhammad Reza Pahlavi came from? It came from the Islamic Republic of Iran. The Islamic Republic of Iran started this bullshit about how the king of Iran was a bad person. He's illiterate. The man spoke multiple languages. He spoke more languages than the two of you enforcers in your channel combined. He could speak Farsi, he could speak French, he could speak Arabic, he could speak English. Which one of you enforcers can speak more than one language? The man turned Iran into a First Nation within a few short years. Which one of your politicians did anything except for Mr. President Donald J. Trump? You have one good president that showed up within the last 250 years, and you start jumping up and down like a bunch of monkeys trying to fight the guy. Similarly, in Iran, this happened 46 years ago, where we had a bunch of monkeys jumping up and down fighting our Donald Trump, King Mohammed Reza Pahlavi. And his biggest enemies, the British. They're still hurt. They were butthurt over the fact that his father kicked all of their advisors out of Iran and said, we can determine what we want as a nation for ourselves. And you know why they call Mohammed Reza Pahlavi a dictator? Because Mohammed Reza Pahlavi was the only person who went ahead and ordered Mohammad Mossadegh to go to the United Nations and say that the deal that the British have made with the Iranians over the natural oil of Iran is unfair. We don't want to give the profits to England and be left with 1%. That's highway robbery. We want to be able to have control over our own finance. We want to be able to be sufficient in being able to make our own decision. The British didn't like this. That's why BBC, Ayatollah BBC in Persia language, was up and down every day calling our king a dictator. The only dictator here is the British government. And what they did with us, now they're doing the same thing to their own people. Congratulations, English people of England and Scotland. The Great Britain is turning into an Islamic republic, and soon you will be subjected to having to live by every single law that was implemented on the country of Iran, but in England, by the hands of the same people that did this to us, that are now doing it to you. And if you don't stand up and fight and take back your country, you will lose it just like we lost Iran. The Americans helped King Mohammed Reza Pahlavi stay in power in 1953. But that does not mean that Mohammed Reza Pahlavi and the CIA did a coup on Mohammad Mossadegh. You don't Do a coup going downwards. The coup must happen going upwards, meaning it would have to be the prime minister, Mossadegh, who's trying to commit a coup on the king of Iran. The position of king is higher than position of prime minister or president or whatever else a country wants to put in a position. Anyone who tells you that the king of Iran did a coup on a guy he himself elected, whose term will come to an end eventually, while the king's term never comes to an end, must be retarded. I don't know what drugs they took or what education they got, that they don't understand how a coup works, but what they're telling you is misinformation. A coup is done by someone of a lower rank on someone who has a higher rank. You cannot do a coup on someone below you. It's like you go to work and your boss, if he wants to fire you, he fires you. He doesn't need to do a coup on you to fire you. He just comes and tells you you're fired. Get out. You need to do a coup on him to get him out, because you don't have the power to go and fire him. Likewise, a prime minister has to do a coup on a king, not a king do a coup on a prime minister. Stop falling for this BS that you've been told. Mossadegh wanted to do a coup while the king of Iran was in Iraq meeting with Saddam Hussein to finalize deals that benefited Iran. Lines. Number two, there was a dispute over the river, Karun. The king of Iran went to Iraq and talked to them and got the agreements that he wanted in favor of Iran, reestablishing border lines, reestablishing that the Karun River belongs to Iran. And during that time, Mohammad Mossadegh wanted to orchestrate a coup to take over. Mohammad Mossadegh was part of the Tudeh Party. The Tudeh Party is the Communist Party of Iran. The Communist Party of Iran sides with, at that time, the Soviet Union. Mohammad Reza Shah was against the Soviet Union because they had territory of Iran that they needed to give back to Iran. We had an agreement over it. Hence, he asked for the CIA to help his generals in making sure that Mohammad Mossadegh could not orchestrate his coup. The coup fell apart. It wasn't that the king of Iran did a coup to take out some communist idiot. No, it was the communist idiot Mossadegh that tried to implement a coup on the king of Iran. And check with AI and everywhere else, and they're all going to go to a bunch of sites and they're all going to read some bullshit that the CIA wrote, trying to twist it all, because at that time Jimmy Carter was your president, Joe Biden was his advisor, and Jimmy Carter said Khomeini will be the man that will bring peace to the Middle East. And instead of peace, we saw he brought terrorism to the Middle East. And now they're trying to support that idea. And who benefits off of this? The Islamic Republic of Iran. Because the Islamic Republic of Iran uses this to bash everyone in the head, to say, yes, you see, it was the Americans that kept this king. No, it wasn't the Americans that kept the king. The people of Iran wanted their king. It was the Americans under Jimmy Carter and Joe Biden of Iran while he was sick, while he had cancer, and bring in from France Khomeini, so that Khomeini can put an Islamic Republic together so that they can destroy and dismantle Iran. Why did they do that? Because Joe Biden has proven himself, same with Jimmy Carter, that he loves to do anything that goes against the benefit of America and allies of America. Let's look at it together. Jimmy Carter gave away the Panama Canal for $1 to Panama. Who did that benefit? Not the Americans. It benefited China down the line. Joe Biden likes to cancel the pipelines between Canada and the United States for oiling in the Gulf of Mexico at that time, but he likes to remove the bans on Russia drilling for their oil and selling it. Who did that benefit? Russia, not us. Same people were in charge 46 years ago, and they brought Khomeini in. And who did Khomeini benefit? The first act he did when he came to office in Iran was remove any dispute that the Kingdom of Iran had with the British over the oil of Iran, which means the British got a green light to continue to profit off of Iran. That profit is happening all the way up till today. The British government owes the people of Iran money because you've been robbing us on our oil. And you call it BP, British Petroleum. You don't have no oil in Britain. That is our oil you're sucking like a mosquito. That is our oil you're sucking like a leech, like a lice, like a tick. And it needs to stop. That's why you see the government of Britain today is trying to do their damnedest to keep the Islamic Republic of Iran in charge of Iran. That's why you see that majority of these mullahs, like the Larijani brothers, all have palaces in Britain. They're British agents that are in the government of the Islamic Republic of Iran. That's why you see Iran have homes in Russia, in a country where they don't speak the language, in a frozen country, in a country where nothing's going on. They have high, big priced palaces. And yet they pretend they are Iranian. Stop that. Stop it, Lala. Stop it. You're destroying everything. Stop it. This has to stop. This is the type of thing that needs to stop. You, the people of the West, who don't know anything, need to stop pretending like you know everything. If you want to talk about my country, have somebody from my country show up on your channel who actually knows the history of my country and have them talk. The enforcers, your own people in your own channel are telling you 80% of the Iranian people are chanting they want King Reza Pahlavi back in power. I'd like to ask you a question. Which one of you two brothers speaks Persian? Which one of you two brothers reads Persian? Which one of you two brothers goes on Persian sites in Persian language and is actually looking and seeing what people are saying? Which one of you can watch a clip that you want to show on your program about the protesters and understands Farsi well enough to understand what the people are saying? You know what the people are chanting? They're chanting Javid Shah. Any of you who watch this program can go afterwards and listen to any of those protests. You'll see. They say Javid Shah, Javid Shah, Javid Shah, Javid Shah, Javid Shah, Javid Shah. What does that mean? It means long live the king. Shah is king. Javid Shah, long live the king. They're not saying long live the Islamic Republic of Iran. They're not saying long live Ali Masih Nejad and the other idiots. They're saying long live the king. Who's the king? Have you ever asked yourself who's the king? Because King Muhammad Reza Pahlavi passed in 1980. He was king from 1941 till 1980. But he had a son. His son is named Reza Pahlavi. He's the second Reza, the third Pahlavi, who used to be the prince. But now the prince is the king in exile. So when they say long live the king, they're telling you that they want their king to live long enough to come back and lead Iran. The people that are protesting, they're chanting in akharin nabarde, Pahlavi barmigarde, meaning this is the final battle. And Pahlavi will return. Who's Pahlavi? It's their king. They're chanting Reza, Reza Pahlavi. None of them are chanting Muhammad Musaddiq. You're retards. All you do is talk about, oh, well, the Iranian people, they were elected. There was a coup on Muhammad Musaddiq. Nobody cares about Muhammad Musaddiq. Stop trying to make Iran a communist country. You don't know what you're talking about. And all of you talk about the same bullshit, nonsense, garbage. Do you think us Iranians cannot talk on our own behalf? We don't have mouth and tongue? And we need you to talk on our behalf? Newsflash, we never asked for you to send one soldier to come fight for the Iranian people. And we don't want your soldiers in Iran. We don't want your American soldiers, your British soldiers, your French soldiers, your Spanish and Portuguese and anything else. You guys can keep your soldiers. But you know what you can do? You can force your politicians to stop making deals with the Islamic Republic of Iran. You can force your politicians to do what Donald Trump is doing, taking out these ghost fleets that suck the oil of Iran and bring it to terrorist organizations like Hezbollah of Lebanon, to Maduro's government so he can create terrorism, so he can create finance for drug dealers, so he can threaten America. You can stop all of that. You can kick out their embassies from your countries. You can stop giving them money so they can make a business. You can support the people of Iran by bringing your ships to the Persian Gulf so that when these guys decide that a tiny little ship made out of wood that the guy is going fishing with in the Persian Gulf from Iran, because he's been doing this ever since he can remember. His father did it, his grandfather did it, his great-grandfather did it, his great-great-great-great-great-grandfather did it for 2,000, 3,000 years, as far as he can remember. His whole family members lived off of fishing in the Persian Gulf. But because nowadays the Iranians are not allowed to fish because the Islamic Republic of Iran has a deal with the government of China, so that China can bring out a ship that can vacuum every freaking fish out of the Persian Gulf, and they come and sink his ship and force your Navy to come and save this guy's life, the next time something like that happens, and now is in international waters, and you see them acting like a bunch of pirates, you can uphold the law of piracy and shoot down the IRGC little boats that are doing these things, that are sinking these people's boats. You can do that in international water. You can put a stop to the weapons that are leaving Iran and going to the Houthis. You can stop Hashd al-Shabi, Khatim al-Hezbollah, the Mahdi Brigade, and the rest that are leaving Iraq to come to Iran so they can kill Iranian protesters. You have a base there in Iraq, and these are terrorists. Your base is there to protect the people of Iraq from terrorists. You can shoot these terrorists, or else why are you there? Who wants you there if you're not there to uphold peace and make sure that no one's invading people? You can do that. You can shoot down Hezbollah and the rest, and ISIS and the rest, the Fatimiyun, the Zainabiyun, and all the other stupid that the Islamic Republic of Iran has in the region, where you have bases in. You can do that. And it will be beneficial for you as it is for us. They won't be able to attack you. Like in the time of Biden, where they attacked you hundreds of times and Biden did nothing. Like they attacked you during the presidency of Donald J. Trump. Did they not just kill 2 of your people? 2 of your armed forces? Send them back in body bags? As an American, I'm insulted by that. But I like how Donald Trump attacked them back. Shot at ISIS. You can do that. But you know what you do in your countries? Like in Germany and in Netherlands, you'll refuse to let the king of Iran speak at your parliament because you're afraid of the Islamic Republic of Iran. You allowed in Sweden that they can use mosques as an operating place to promote the ideology of the Islamic Republic of Iran and commit money laundering and take money from Sweden into Iran. You do the same thing in England and elsewhere. You allow an opportunity for the Islamic Republic of Iran to fill up their pockets with money that then they can use to kill Iranians who are protesting for basic laws of humanity, such as women being able to walk freely in their own country without having to cover themselves head to toe, such as being able to eat when you want to eat and not having to be forced to be in a state of fasting wants you to be there when they themselves don't follow those laws. They're fighting for a chance to be able to have free, fresh water, yet the government sells that water at ridiculously low prices to countries like Iraq, Kuwait, UAE, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Oman. In deserts, they're using Iranian water to try to grow grass. Do you know how hard it is to grow grass in desert? It doesn't grow. It's not the right type of soil. I mean, these retards are trying to have grass in a place where grass does not grow, and they're using Iran's water. Yet Iran is being turned into a desert because it's in a state of drought. Close to 100 million people in Iran don't have water. And they're fighting because they want to remove this government. And yet, channels like yours, Enforcer, are helping to keep the Islamic Republic in power. And you don't even know it. Yeah, we should not attack them. Yes, we should not do this. Oh, they don't do this. Oh, don't do that. ABH, you said only 2 people are watching. 2 stupid people are watching. You let me know. I'm going to leave, not destroy the number. Let me tell you something. My programs are not just watched now, but they're watched afterwards too. Let me tell you something. When I put a program on, over 20,000 people watch it. YouTube likes to water down the numbers. But I have that same program on my Telegram, and my Telegram shows me the exact number of people that watch it. So sucks to be you, because you're the only one who's stupid here. You're the stupid one because you work for the Islamic Republic of Iran. You are amongst the IRGC that has the white SIM cards that Elon Musk has proven. You are the one that comes on these channels and tries to make it look like that people like me don't know what we're talking about. But reality is different. And you are amongst those who soon will be arrested in Iran and tried and hung for the treason that you've done to the people of Iran. So, who's the stupid one now? The people like you. We'll see who laughs at who soon enough. The people of Iran want to have their countries back. The people of Iran want to be able to live in a country where they are able to do exactly like the people of the rest of the world. A free society. Go out when they want to go out. Have proper jobs. Not a job where you go to work and for 9 months out of the year, you don't get paid. And when you talk about it, bring it up, try to hold a boycott, a protest, a sit-in until they pay you, they arrest you and throw you in a political prison and say, you're charged under the crimes of going to war against God. You're charged for going against the Prophet of Islam. You must be a spy of Israel and United States and Britain and France and Germany and everywhere else, so they can have a long list of fake charges against you so that they can beat you, rape you, and finally hang you after you went to political prison. You see, that is the type of Iran that the Islamic Republic of Iran runs. That is the type of government that people are protesting against. And if you want to talk about Iran in your channel, make sure you talk to actual Iranians first. Bring one on your channel. Invite one. Allow us to explain to you what's going on. Number 2, when you talk about our kings, show some respect. Don't call them this guy. Don't say there's Riza. Don't say, oh, I don't know his policy, but he says something. But Al-Julani said something. You idiot. Al-Julani was part of Jabal al-Nusra, which is a sister terrorist organization of ISIS. The king of Iran is a guy who is standing up since 1980 till today against the king So on one side, you have a guy who's fighting terrorism for 46 years, and then you want to compare him to a guy who is a terrorist. And you want to say that the two of them are the same. How did you come to that conclusion, enforcer? What brought you to that conclusion? How is the guy who's the champion of fighting against terrorism, in your mind, equal to an actual terrorist? And then you get upset. Why I say you're supporting the Islamic Republic of Iran? Because the Islamic Republic of Iran will search and find the stupid shit you say, and they will go on Islamic Republic of Iran, and they will play your little short clip, and then they will say, you see, even the people in the West agree with us. You see, we're not the only ones who are saying he's a bad man. The people of the West say the same thing. Thank you very much for your contribution to keeping Islamic Republic of Iran alive. The stupids of the channel, The Enforcer, where you can sit there and talk garbage and not even think about what you're saying. You say, oh, Reza Pahlavi has a whole bunch of good stuff that he says because I guess anyone who wants to run and be the front leader, you name for me somebody else who's the front Massinajad, who's too chicken shit to even stand under her own original name and is making fun out of Jesus Christ by calling herself the Messiah, and then says that the Messiah is Ali, the cousin of the Prophet of Islam. I mean, she gives herself a man's name, double. Her name is Masume, not Ali, not Messi. Her name is Masume. Who do you have? You have a bunch of two-day party members? Or do you want the MEK, the terrorist organization, under Maryam Rajafi? Who do you have as leader of the opposition of the Iranians that you favor when you don't know any of them? The only one trustworthy, the only one fighting from day one is King Reza Pahlavi. Put some respect on that name when you talk about it. If you don't understand his policies, shut the fuck up. If you don't know the guy, shut up. Us Iranians have had it up to here with idiots. You guys talk about Iranian tribes like as if each one is its own nation. Who gave you that right? Newsflash, Iran is a big country, has many different tribes, but we are not many different nations. And then you go on and talk about, well, Iran can turn into a federal country like the United States. Dumbass, do you know why United States is United States as a federal country? It's in the name, United States, meaning each one is its own country. They've united together to form a bigger country. Iran is a huge country that's not broken apart by multiple nations that have formed into one. It's been one big nation of people. You cannot turn one big nation into a federal government because they're not broken up, trying to join each other. Germany is different nations joined together. That's why they're federal. You don't understand what you're talking about but you want to pretend like you know something. If you don't understand what you're saying, if you don't understand English, if you don't understand your own history, shut up. Your own channel lose their IQ. Their IQ went down. My head exploded in 5 minutes of hearing the nonsense garbage that you two are saying to each other. And you're pretending like you understand what you're talking about. It's clear you know nothing about history. You don't know Iran's history. You don't know America's history. You don't understand the positions of power. You don't understand what a king is, what a prime minister is, what a president is. You don't understand the Persian language. You don't know what the people are chanting. You don't know where the people are going, what the people are doing, what the people want. You don't understand anything. Apparently nothing. The cow goes moo, and you guys just say a bunch of words. And your channel's not alone. There's many of you. A bunch of channels retarded. Stop it. I'm sick and tired of watching you idiots don't know anything and think you know everything. The people of Iran are chanting even in English, saying King Reza Pahlavi. Learn what the people are, understand what people want. You know what kind of help we need? We need the help of Israel. The people of Iran, contrary to your belief enforcers, are willing for a country like United States or Israel or any country to come along and bomb the Islamic Republic of Iran from top to bottom, as long as it gives them the objective of removing the people in power from office. But none of them want boots on the ground. But we like Israel's help because Israel has shown us in the 12-day war that they know exactly how to target key sites, influential people within the government. And all we need is for the same thing to happen. You see, on one side, to break it down for you, we have the Islamic Republic of Iran. The Islamic Republic of Iran has the Sepah, has the Basij, and then they have terrorist organizations from outside of Iran, such as Hezbollah of Lebanon, Khatim al-Hezbollah from Iraq, Asht al-Shabi from Iraq, Mahdi Brigade from Iraq, 20 other terrorist organizations from Iraq, Houthis from Yemen, Fatimiyun from Afghanistan, Zainabiyun from Pakistan, and a whole bunch of, including Hamas, Islamic Jihad, not to be mistaken with ISIS, and so on and so on and so on, that they keep bringing to Iran to help the Sepah and Basij in Iran, on top of the police force in Iran, to kill unarmed Iranians who are protesting. So Islamic Republic of Iran has the backing of outside forces and nations to do this. They get money deals with the rest of the world, especially England, to do this. So what we need is a balance in the playing field. We need a country like Israel that has a brave leader, Benjamin Netanyahu, the Great. You have to add that name behind it. You can't just say Benjamin Netanyahu without saying the Great, because he qualifies. We need someone like Benjamin Netanyahu to say, let's even the playing field. Let's hit the political prisons so that their doors can be blown up so people can come out. Let's hit some of these IRGC headquarters where they steal people, nab people off the streets, take them there, rape them, give them concussions that cause their death 3 to 4 days later in the hospital while under a coma. Let's even the playing field. Let's hit some sites or destroy some cameras so that the government people, so that the Iranian people can have the power to be able to fight fairly for their rights against this brutal occupying government that's made out of 350 families who are not Iranians. A lot of Johnnies are from Iraq. Khamenei is from Iraq. A bunch of the other ones are from Lebanon. Some of them are from Yemen. These people came to Iran 3 generations ago. Their grandparents came to Iran. They had birth, just like in the United States, when they come for vacation, and then, but the parents are not. They did the same BS in Iran. And now all of a sudden they all have a citizenship of Iran. Yet they barely can speak Persian properly. Their number 1 language is Arabic. They steal the money of Iran and send it to Arab countries. The water of Iran goes to Arab countries. In Iran, there's no electricity, no water, no nothing. What do you want the people to do? The people have one leader. Unanimously, they chant for one leader in Iran. And that whether the Americans and the rest of the world want to accept it or not, that is who the people of Iran are chanting for. That is who the people of Iran want. And that is who the people of Iran are going to get. This time they're understanding it. This time they're coming out and they're doing exactly what we've told them to do. They're attacking IRGC headquarters on their own. They're attacking police departments on their own with their bare hands. And they're taking the weapons that the Islamic Republic of Iran has, and they're using it to defend themselves. And if you want to help them, support them. I thank, from this channel right here, I thank President Donald J. Trump for sending the tweet that he sent, for being the man that he is, for having the back of the Iranians. If you want to do J. Trump, if you want to do something for the Iranians, learn from Benjamin Netanyahu the Great. Stand behind these gentlemen, these great leaders, these exceptional leaders. Learn from leaders like Marco Rubio, who I have the utmost respect for. They understand what they're talking about. Support people like Pete Hegseth. They know what they're doing. And if you don't understand anything, don't talk. Leave it alone. The Iranian people know what they want. They know what they're doing, and they're protesting. They're protesting with them. They want these guys out. They don't need you to say, oh, they're going to become your allies and they're going to become enemies. They already are the enemies of the China and the Russians and all of that. The Iranians understand who their enemies are. That's why they chant, دروغ میگن دشمنمون آمریکاست. دشمنمون همینجاست. Meaning, they lie to us when they say our enemy is America. Our enemy is right here. They mean the Islamic Republic of Iran. They mean China. They mean Russia. The Iranian people already know what they want. It's time for you to support them in that. It's time for you to extend a hand to King Reza Pahlavi and work with him. Because you know what will happen when the Islamic Republic of Iran falls and King Reza Pahlavi comes in power? On day one, all the funding to these terrorist organizations gets cut off. When that gets cut off, that means they cannot kill American soldiers in the Middle East. They cannot kill British soldiers in the Middle East. They cannot kill Jewish people in the Middle East. And that means that the secondary thing that will happen is all the funding to the Islamic organizations in the West that are Shia organizations start to get cut off too. No more money laundering into your countries. It's a benefit for you. Your children will be saved from one day having to fall under the influence and the banner of Islam in your own countries. It will also bring peace to the Middle East because Iran will no longer be fighting against Israel. And that means that these Arab countries who like to run the muck and pretend they're on both sides and support terrorism and socialism, communism in your universities, while they pretend to be the best friend of your president, won't be able to play both sides no more because there is Iran. Which means all this nonsense will stop, which is a benefit for you. And all of this can happen overnight. Overnight. It's not going to take 10 years, 20 years, 40 years. No, it's overnight. Overnight, it will be changed. Overnight, you'll have peace, calm, tranquility. It doesn't take forever. King Reza Pahlavi has never said he wants to be the king of Iran. All he said is he wants to be the people's representative. All he said is he wants to transition a government for free, fair elections. Not elections where cockroach Ali Khamenei gets to handpick 10 people and then you're forced to pick from one of those 10 people who should be the president of Iran so they can just be a puppet with cockroach Ali Khamenei's hand up there behind controlling them. No, he wants free, fair elections where people in Iran can pick what kind of government do they want. Do they want a kingdom? Do they want a democratic kingdom? Do they want a republic? Do they want a communism? What do they want? The people can go and vote. And you guys got a problem with that? Why do you have a problem with that, enforcers? Why can't the Iranians choose who they want to lead them so that what's your problem with that? When you don't know anything about anything that has to do with Iran. Or then you got idiots like Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, and the rest. A whole bunch of other idiots. Mouthpieces for the Islamic Republic of Iran. Candace Owens is shown regularly on Islamic State TV in Iran. She's not on the right side. She's not part of the Republican Party. If you think the Republican Party in the United States is someone who the Iranian Islamic Republic of Iran likes to show on their TV channel and say, you see, she agrees with us, you got a lot of problems. You got to check your own self to see if you're a Republican or not. Because the Islamic Republic of Iran says death to you all the time. Then you get someone like Tucker Carlson, who interviews Pezeshkian and says, no, we're talking about the criminals. We're not talking about the Americans. Newsflash, you want to know what is a criminal according to the Muslims? In the Quran, they changed the word from infidels to criminals. So every time the Quran talks about criminals, it's talking about all the non-Muslims. And all of you in the United States who are not Muslim, you fall into the category of that criminal. So when they find you, they want to chop your head off. Strike them at their necks is what the order is. That's why he says death to America. Because you are the criminal. Each and every American citizen who's not Muslim is a criminal. Tucker Carlson doesn't understand the Quran. He's never read it. He doesn't have a doctorate in Islam. But he's getting money from Qatar and Pakistani who are tied to Iran. He doesn't care. He's making his money. And he thinks that they won't come to him when they're done with him. They're using him as a useful idiot tool at the moment. But when they're done with him, if they become successful of taking over the United States, they will come for him. You think they will take over the United States by bringing their armed forces here? No. They will do it with your own children, starting at your universities and your high schools and everywhere else. They will brainwash your own kids to take you out. And if you don't do something about it now, later on, what happened to Iran will happen here. It's up to you to do something about it. I'm your warner. I've seen it happen there, and I'm trying to stop it over here. And my people, the Iranian people, are trying to stop it over there. You need to understand who we are. You need to start respecting us for what we do. The sacrifices we make. The way we put ourselves on the front line. The way we have a target on our backs. The way that my people are dying and spilling their blood on the street, unarmed. And you need to start respecting us instead of pretending that we're a bunch of cows and you need to talk on our behalf and you know better than our leaders and you know better than us on who we should have as our leaders and what our leaders are thinking and what they're going to do later on and pass judgment on them like as if they're a bunch of dogs under your foot. Any of you, influencers, YouTube channel owners that want to talk about Iran, I nominate myself to come on your channel so that I can explain to you and your viewers. I'll answer your questions. I'll give you proper detail. I'll help your viewers understand the reality. Anything you want to know about Iran, I can answer it for you. I'll make your channel bigger than what it is because you will have insight that the rest of these English-speaking channels do not have. Take advantage of that instead of just opening your mouth and talking a bunch of BS. With that being said, anyone who watches this program and likes what they're hearing, don't forget, subscribe to our channel. Promote our channel by clicking on the share and sharing this with others who speak English so that they can also see it and understand and not fall for the traps of channels that do not know anything about what they're saying but are pretending like they know. Underneath this program, you will find my Linktree link. You can click on that, and through that, you can find me anywhere else that I am on social media, especially Telegram, Twitter, and the rest. And you can follow me in those places as well. Until our next program, I leave all of you in the hands of Jesus. Thank you, and God bless.